What's up, friends? Here we are for round 2 on our live chat sessions, prepping for Metal for Africa 22, our fabulous comeback to the live metal scene after the horrible episode called COVID-19. So yeah, this is our first show coming up in 2.5 years. We damn excited about it. And more so, we're actually excited about some of the tricks we've learned along the way, which means we're also going to be streaming parts of the festival. And we're taking that opportunity to have a chat with some of the bands playing live to you pretty much every weeknight between now and festival date. So tonight, I'm actually privileged enough to have one of the new bands that we'll be featuring at our Joburg festival. I'm going to introduce you guys to Cuan of, we're going to have to ask him on this, but I think it's URÆUS.
Correct.
How are you doing,
Hello.
Cuan?
I'm doing very well, and yourself, man?
I'm fantastic.
That's great.
Fantastic. All right,
and
dude.
yeah, thanks for having me on here, man.
Tell us, how do we pronounce the band name?
Yeah, okay. So we typically say URÆUS, but most of the time people think it's URÆUS, and it's close enough. So we can't hold it against them. And plus, that's good marketing because most of the time people associate it with Uranus. So we'll take it.
But I suppose like another marketing perk is that like it's a bit of a conversation starter, because a lot of the people who I've been talking to about, they like it intrigues them because they want to know, so what's the proper pronunciation and so on. So it kind of sticks in the head because of that. Well done.
Not my idea, but thanks.
Yeah. Oh, tops to whoever did it.
That goes to our founding member Conrad. So yeah.
Cool. All right, yeah. Because if I understand correctly, you were a later on arrival. Can you tell me a bit about how you came to be in URÆUS? Did I say it right now?
Close enough. URÆUS.
You're gonna have to help us out.
Sorry, you were right. It is URÆUS. Sorry.
Cool.
I'm getting jumbled up.
Say it many times during our chat tonight. Then people will know.
I feel like we're gonna chant it soon. URÆUS, URÆUS.
Yeah.
No. So it was completely just lack of circumstances. So URÆUS actually did form in the height of the pandemic. I spoke with the guys earlier about that, and I was one of the last additions to the band. So they were going during COVID, and they did build a bit of a following during that time. And then last year, I kind of like softly announced that I'm done with music. I can't do it anymore. I can't find anything in it.
Yeah,
but,
I've done that once in my life as well. So
yeah, exactly. And then a guy that I've been working with for many years, Jacques. So URÆUS had a vocalist before me, obviously, and then he left the band. And then URÆUS reached out to him saying, "Hey, listen, we kind of need a guy to do these types of vocals. Do you know anybody?" And he threw my hat in the ring, and it's just been such an incredible journey since. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. So how long have you then been with the band? You said that's during lockdown. It's not very long then, hey?
No. So they were, if I remember correctly, they formed 2019 or so, and then they were building up during 2020 and 2021.
When the poo hit the fan.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh.
And then I met them September last year. So we are coming close to a year now.
Oh, hectic. That's actually really fresh.
Yeah, tell me about it. And then I had my first show with them in October, the 22nd of October. I remember that because it was right before my birthday. And but then show after show after show, it just grew. Out of nowhere. We didn't see any of this coming, but it just happened. So that's why we take all of this with such enthusiasm.
Great, man. Yeah, well, I think, when you describe show after show after show after show, that kind of gives me the impression that you're at least a hardworking band. And a hardworking band never goes unnoticed for too long. So, well done.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. No, trust me, we're not gonna say that because to us, we're still just a bunch of dickheads,
Yeah.
like playing with wooden instruments. But I have to give full credit where credit is due because the band as instrumentalists are some of the most talented people I've met because we're still in our early
Yeah.
20s, excluding our rhythm guitarist. But considering our age, and then I see what these guys did, I was very overwhelmed by that. Um, and then yeah, so we just kept having practice and kept doing shows and kept having practice, kept having shows, and then I can literally draft you a timeline of how we got here, but it's still a little bit unbelievable when you look at how short
Yeah.
that timeline actually is.
Yeah.
So
Oh, well, good, man. But I suppose that's the beauty of having the energy of youth. um, like, I have to admit, I had that once, but yeah, I won't say I'm over the hill yet. But yeah,
mm.
like, I think my finest and most energetic years are behind me.
I don't know, man. I gotta respectfully disagree with you. I mean, my grandfather is still one of the most amazing musicians I've ever met in my life, and he's still going strong to this day. Like nothing can stop him. So
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'll never stop. I'll just get slower.
okay, I can't argue with you there.
Cool, man. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so you say that most of the bands are kind of still younger guys. That's cool. It means there's a bright future ahead of you. If
Oh
you
well,
guys
we
keep
like to
at
hope
it. And
no.
yeah, well, one of the things that's important to us as Metal for Africa,
Yeah.
in Cape Town, we've been doing this festival since 2007. So it's a lot of years.
Yeah.
Um, and this coming show is our first sort of duplicate of the festival up in Johannesburg
Yeah.
side. So we're quite
Yeah.
excited about this. It's a big moment for us too. Um, but part of our culture, right from the beginning, has always been that every festival has to include like a certain formulation of
Mm.
bands, of which one
Mm.
of those is fresh blood, you know,
Yes.
up and coming talent. So yeah, that's kind of where we caught wind of you guys, because I mean, I haven't had the privilege to see you yet, being based in Cape Town, but
Mm.
the word has traveled this far that there's a hot new
Wow.
band on the block, and that's
Wow.
great. So yeah, I'm very excited that we do have you guys on board. Um, yeah, and I'd like to hear your guys' point of view on our choice of lineup, because other parts of our formula is always we got to have like um, someone with like a long term, almost like legendary status.
Yeah.
And in
Yeah.
that role, we've chosen Deity's Muse. We always try and have a traveling band from another city. So for you guys,
Yeah.
we've got a Peasant who's here from my home, Cape Town.
Yeah. We're
And
aware.
and if we can afford it, we like to rope in someone from outside of South Africa. And you guys have two. You've got Rust and Skinflint. Um,
Yep.
so, I mean, look, that's not even the whole lineup, but tell me a bit about what your guys' feelings are. I mean, have you had some conversations about who you're going to be playing shoulder to shoulder with, and does it excite you?
Uh, I don't, dude. Excitement is not really. I know it sounds like so cliche to say this, but excitement is such an underwhelming word to use in this instance because, one thing I love about the guys is they are incredibly enthusiastic about every gig that we do. This was by far the first time I've ever actually seen any of my members drop a log through the freaking floor. Of course, when we got offered the show, at first we kind of didn't believe it. We thought it was a bit of a prank, a bit of a hoax, that sort of thing. But then it's like, okay, cool. We got the gig with Metal for Africa. But then as soon as the lineup was announced, especially with who we're going to be playing with here in Johannesburg, everyone turned pale white. It was
Uh-oh.
no. Like that's a good thing. Trust me, that's a good thing. I mean, for me, it was beautiful to watch because I get nervous about every show that we do.
Yeah.
But it's like for them, it's cool, it's casual. But then this was like, no, now the pressure cooker's on, and we are going to definitely have to up our game a little bit. And one name that definitely stood out, especially amongst the members, was Skinflint. That
Oh, wow. Cool.
no, that shocked them
Yeah.
to high haters. If I may be so bold as to say, I know Sunken State is playing up there in Cape Town.
Yeah.
But funny enough, it was actually the gigs that we've done with Sunken State that got us to this point.
Probably. Like,
No, it is. I can literally draft that for you.
yeah.
So, and I remember when we did our first show with Sunken State, then we were crapping ourselves. And then now it's like, can we go back to that level of anxiety? 'Cause
Sure.
compared to this.
Well,
But
I don't know.
yeah,
Like, it's a good anxiety to have because I
absolutely.
suppose it's going to push you guys to just be the best that you can be. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember having those feelings many times in my life as well, and I'm not going to lie. Even like 20 years later of being a performer, like I still get jitters here and there, depending on who the show's with, and yeah, like I guess what it means to us and our expectations of ourselves.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Great,
And
man.
but that's a feeling, it's overwhelming but not paralyzing, and for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
I think for all of us that's a feeling it's a love-hate relationship. We hate having that feeling, but we love that we have that feeling
You need
because
that
that shows,
feeling.
yeah, no, it shows we actually care.
Yeah,
I feel when it becomes too stale and stagnant, it's like, then what was the point in doing it in the first place?
I'm
So
with you.
yeah.
Lekker, man. Yeah, so who else have you guys got in Joburg? Let me actually just check this again. I'm usually so like wired, but now that we've got two lineups,
Yeah, no stress. I
I'm
can
finding it
understand.
difficult to like, keep up. So it's you guys are kicking it off. Skinflint is
Mm.
right after you guys. Oh, Fenris Wolf. Oh, I can't wait to
Yes.
see them live myself someday. It's like what I like about them is that like their style of music. I used to play in an Monomath tribute band,
Hell
and now
yeah,
we
dude.
and like having a South African band who sort of follows that sort of vein of music and like aesthetics. Oh, that made me so happy. Um, and
I
then you
agree.
guys have got Rust. So
Yeah.
Rust, I think it's their 22nd year anniversary of being a band. How old were you 22 years ago, if I may ask?
One, dude. I was one.
So these guys have been playing metal from Gaborone, Botswana since basically you've been alive.
Yeah, exactly. That's why that was the thing that we can't. It almost feels a bit sacrilegious the fact that we're up on that stage
No
because
ways.
I mean I can speak. I can't speak for Urias because they were going for a few years before I
Yeah.
joined, but I'm pretty sure they will even admit they've never played gigs of this caliber before, but that's purely because of how we restructured things. That's
Yeah.
not because of me. I'm not, but um, so then, when the lineup was announced, they were like, "What the hell, dude? We're sharing sharing the stage with a band that's been doing what we want to do for almost as long as we've been alive."
Yeah.
That is an insane thought.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like let humility take the cake for a second. Despite that, we still got the opportunity, and for us, like, what more can we ask for? Because if I may be so bold as to say, and I have seen this a couple of times in the past, it's very easy for longtime fans and longtime metalheads to kind of dismiss the younger crowd, like, oh, they're too edgy or they're too wannabe or that sort of thing. And so far, we have not yet had that sort of experience,
Yeah.
which, yeah, and yeah, what more can I say to that? I mean, it's an honor
Yeah.
to be sharing the stage with them.
Well, yeah, look, it's great to hear you speaking about that,
Mm,
because I have to admit that from a promoter's point of view, or
mm,
from the point of view of the people who put the show together, and
mm,
we've been doing this a long time, like that whole thing of barriers
mm.
between this mindset and that mindset. I mean, that's something we've been actually actively combating for like the better part of 15 years,
Yeah.
since our first festival. So there's definitely a certain kind of culture who we as Metal for Africa try and sort of propagate. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, that's why it's important for us. Like every show, we have to have stalwarts, we have to have fresh blood, we have
Yeah.
to have like as much diversity as we can manage, because it's easy in the metal scene. I mean, me as a like performer as well,
Yeah.
when we're functioning as our own band, it's very easy to fall into that trap of just playing with like the same style bands repeatedly, not really getting that diversity and like cross pollination and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
actually just enjoying what metal culture, metal society as a whole has to
Mm.
offer. So
Yeah.
that's our
Yeah.
agenda.
I respect that. I respect that wholeheartedly, man, because the before I was even part of the band, I was very like hands on in the music scene. And the fun part about that was there was someone of an older generation that could teach me something that has probably been forgotten. But for them, they discovered something new they didn't even know existed. And
Yeah,
that's such a beautiful thing to form because everyone involved gets evolved. So I
absolutely.
respect that.
Yeah, yeah. Like I've always thought of the South African scene, like over the long years, people have said, yeah, like why can't we compare South Africa with what's happening abroad? And I think for a long time we were actually quite isolated. When I
Yeah,
started music, like we didn't even really have the internet yet. I mean, it
yeah,
existed, but it wasn't accessible for average Joe.
yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
think since the internet has become easily accessible, it's like we get this peer-to-peer knowledge even
Mm,
from musicians abroad. But what
mm,
I've noticed, just like inside the South African space, we've been developing a lot from peer to peer
mm,
between the younger guys and the more experienced guys. There is that transferal of information and how to, and just general experience. And I
mm.
think like the rate of development that we've witnessed in the South African space um, since the internet started, like it's been exponential. Um, so yeah, we just got to keep chipping away at that as a community.
I 100% agree. Is it cool with you if I can add my 2 cents to that?
Sure.
Yeah, there's one thing I've noticed, not only from being a part of URÆUS, but I mean, over the years, of always supporting and promoting and stuff like that, bands of any caliber at any venue. The thing that I've come to realize is every single day I spend hours like just going through new material, new band, because I
Uh,
mean, there's such a surplus of it now. You're not going to listen to them all. You're not going to find them all.
yeah.
But you know what comes up, you're going to give it a shot. And if I may be so bold as to say, especially in alternative genres, there's been a bit of an oversaturation.
Uh-huh.
If you don't, so and but then whenever I know I sound biased when I say as a South African, but going to watch a South African band, I don't hear I don't hear the blueprints. I
Uh-huh.
don't hear the paint by numbers, the 001, 030. You know, I
Yeah.
I I hear it's not anything new, but it's a new take
Yeah. Yeah.
on
Yeah.
old ideas,
Yeah.
and that is why I love the South African music scene as a whole. Because, like much you said, we might be playing catch up, but there is such an overabundance of passion that goes
Absolutely.
into all of it, whether it's rock or jazz or metal or punk, does not matter. It's
But dude,
yeah,
even our fans,
yeah,
like it's easy for people when we're living our day-to-day lives, going through the drudgery of work and whatever
Mm.
other burdens we bear, it's easy to hear people say, "Oh, if only we could be overseas, if only we could be where we get to go to that concert and have this band playing
Mm.
to us every other weekend and so on." And like sometimes you even see the fans kind of turning on each other, um, because of the frustration. But
Yeah.
what I've heard from a lot of the non-South African bands who have traveled to play here is that
Mm.
we're off the hook.
Yeah.
Like we have an appetite that's so large, because of the starvation like situation that we have here.
Yeah.
International bands love playing to a South African audience,
Yeah.
because lo and behold, what we see televised is not often a picture of reality. It's the exception rather than the rule. And when I'm
Yeah.
saying what we see televised, I mean like a live performance of a band where it just looks like the freaking paint is melting off the walls. Like their average show, and if you hear it from South Africans who live abroad now and tell it back home, they miss our shows here because
Yeah.
of the enthusiasm and the passion our fans have for what is on offer.
Mm.
So, in retrospect, I think we actually have it better than we give credit for.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, it's not to say there's not room for improvement, but I think the truth is pretty much everywhere.
I
Always room for improvement.
No, that's very true. I was actually going to say, there's always room for improvement, and I know we might fit into that category so perfectly. But much to what I mentioned earlier about oversaturation, if there's no room for improvement, then there's just comfort, and
Yeah.
that's when there's 10 bands a week playing the same song
Yeah.
happens. And I'm not to say that their music is bad or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure I just heard this a couple of minutes ago as well. But here, there can be 3 events going on at the same time at completely different venues. Go to each one, you will hear something different.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love so
Yeah.
much about it.
Yeah. And I think, based on what you're saying now, it's like something else that like we as artists have to remember is entertainment value. It's like
Yeah.
we actually have an obligation to entertain the people who are on that floor in front of us. So yeah, like we've got to keep being innovative.
Mm.
And as you said in the beginning, like if we're not a little bit nervous, why are we actually in this?
Yep, couldn't have said it any better myself. And I've played with some really amazing guys, people I've actually now grown to call very close friends. And one thing, what you mentioned, Nana, like we have an obligation to entertain. It's not only that comes with the music; it's the presence, it's the atmosphere, it's
Yeah,
the, and I mean, if I may just be a little bit selfish here,
go for
given
it.
my background in theater, interacting with an audience is like top marks. If anything, they don't even care if your song is crap. They're standing there watching you, and you just acknowledge them. They're like, "Oh, okay, now I'm paying attention,"
Yeah, yeah,
sort of
yeah.
thing. And that provides the extra entertainment value. Even if they don't remember the song, they remembered you.
Oh, well, that's
So
what we call stagecraft.
exactly.
Cool. All right. Cuan, tell us, my
Yeah.
brother. You guys don't have music available yet. So it's hard for us to give anyone who happens to be watching this like a preview of what you guys are going to sound like.
Yeah.
So for those who haven't heard yet, you're going to have to tell us. You're going to have to give us a bit of a description. What can people look forward to when you guys take the stage in Johannesburg on the 3rd of September at Sonage at 4:30, kicking off
Well,
this whole festival? Tell us.
absolutely. Okay, fine. Well, based on our last gig at Sonage, and disclaimer ahead, um, expect a bit of blood, um,
Wouldn't be
few
metal without a
bruises.
bit of blood, hey?
That wasn't even on purpose. That was just a good omen to the performance. Um, I really wish I could tell people what kind of genre we are, but one song to the next, it doesn't sound the same. So for all the punk kids out there, you're gonna jump up and down. For all the deathcore kids out there, I expect windmills. And even for like the black metal slammy sort of people, like then I expect to see blood. Otherwise, why do you listen to the song?
Otherwise, they're
But,
fired.
yeah.
Or you're fired. It's
Or
going to go
yeah,
one way or the other.
exactly. It's my reputation on the line, not
Yeah, yeah,
theirs.
yeah. Yeah. Well, if they don't give you blood, you're going to have to give them blood. You realize this now, hey?
Dude, after everything we've poured into this coming show, blood is the least I can do.
There we go.
The least we can do. I mean, I think my drummer at some point is gonna slap me with one of his broken drumsticks after all the blisters he gets on his hands, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's not a bad thing. That's just fucking metal, bro.
Awesome. All right, Kieran, I'm just going
Yeah,
to say a few words to our sponsors, and then I'm going to say a farewell to you. So if you can just bear with me a moment.
no stress.
Thank you. All right, guys. So, yeah, we just want to say a quick shout out to our friends at Paul Boston Music down in Cape Town. They've been helping us through this festival for the last 15 years, and we're very happy that they're supporting us again now post-pandemic. They usually supply us with a Laney backline, Laney amplification, Mapix drum kits, and for our live stream work, they're helping us out with Rode microphones and Roland equipment. So, yeah, we just want to say a big thank you to them for keeping our back over these years, and in particularly these last very hard years. Yeah, so Kieran, my bro, any last things you want to say to anyone out there who might be watching, or something about your bandmates?
Absolutely, because I can 100% guarantee that they're watching right now. So, Fabio, dude, you're one of the most amazing drummers I've ever met in my life. Thank you for giving me a kick in the ass when I needed it, and for always teaching me something new. Keegan, dude, most like he's just so chilled, man. He's just so chill. He's just enjoying what he does. And Conrad, for starting Urius, for bringing me into the group, and just always helping us develop something new. And I also have to mention, I'm not the newest member of Urius. We finally got a bassist. And just like a small story, his first gig with us was the last Sonage gig, and he
Oh,
only had a
okay.
week to
So is
practice
that
our
new?
entire set list. Yeah, but he only had a week to practice our whole
Yeah.
set list for the biggest show that he's ever done. So,
Yeah.
Gustav, I love you, bro. Thank you so much just for always being positive and happy about things. And to anyone watching, thank you so much for watching and supporting. We really hope to catch you guys there. 3rd of September at Sonage, as some people say. And just like a minor cue here, to my friend Monique, thank you so much for sponsoring the camera for for this interview.
Yeah, see, we
And
all rely on a little bit of help here
yeah,
from our friends
absolutely.
in high places.
No, absolutely. And Patrick, I want to say thank you so much once again for having us be a part of this gig, for such an awesome interview. Like, seriously, I know this is a new trial thing, but you're fucking amazing at it. And really, dude, I hope one day to meet you live in person, hopefully at a show.
I'm sure that they will come. Because
Absolutely, man.
I have to see you live at some point as well.
Oh,
It's written in the stars.
hell yeah.
Cool, my brother. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you so much. And yeah, we really amped to have you guys on that stage. And I'm sure it will be a great success.
I have no doubts about it. So thanks again. And yeah, to any fans who get injured at the event, we are not liable or responsible for anything that may occur.
Yeah, we have to make sure that the venue's public liability insurance is up to date. Yeah,
That's why alcohol exists.
yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Cheers for now.
Bye-bye.
All right, dudes. So, yeah, that was Cuan from URÆUS. I think I got it right this time. Oh, fuck, man. What a cool dude. Yeah, so any further information about the event, you're welcome to visit our website. It's metal4africa.com. Via there, you can buy your tickets. You can also buy tickets at the door. Tickets online are 180 Rand. At the door, they'll be 200 Rand. That's the same for Cape Town and for Joburg. And remember, both concerts are on the same day at the same time. So don't get confused about that. Yeah, so we will see you on the 3rd of September because we're going to be doing a live stream as well. Cheers, friends.